Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to What If Deku Was a Demigod Part 4. You guys have been enjoying the series, I think. I don't know, channel's a bit dead lately because of my long break, but I'm quite enjoying making it. You guys ain't really engaging in like I'd want you to, so I don't really know what you've enjoyed and what you haven't. But please guys, just comment down below and tell me what else you want to see. I won't be able to make the content you want unless you tell me what it is. So please go down below, check the description, check out my thumbnail guide, join the Discord, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And other than that, yeah, let me know what you think of the AI voices still. We're still testing, still learning. But other than that, guys, let's stop wasting time. Let's get straight into this. Cue the intro. The entrance exam field is silent. Smoke drifts on the broken remains of the 0-pointer. Sparks crackle off the twisted metal. Water hangs frozen in the air before dripping to the floor around them. Yurak is still staring, still holding onto Izuku's uniform, fingers trembling. He stands above her, body tense, eyes sharp. The trident is still in his hand, flickering residual energy. Not quite solid anymore, but it's not quite gone. All around them, everyone saw. Inside Yue's observation chamber, the faculty watch in silence. Aizawa says in shock,
"He summoned it without hesitation. It responds like an extension of his body."
All Mount with a massive smile on his face, as if he's found something he's been looking for a long time, says,
"He didn't panic. He didn't run. He protected her without thinking, just like a real hero."
Nezu coughs to clear his throat and the room goes silent. He then begins to tap his desk and smiles faintly and says, "Looks like our little Stormbringer passed the test." Later on in the week, about 1 week I'd say, Izuku sits alone in his room, a letter in his hand. He hasn't opened it yet. He doesn't need to, he already knows. The trident leans against the wall wrapped in cloth. He doesn't need to keep it summoned, but he does. He feels a sense of familiarity with it. And also the fact that it hums whenever he gets too close, as if it was crying out to fight, crying out to be used again, crying out to channel the power that is inside Izuku. But he ignores the feeling. He tears open the envelope. Inside, a simple letter. "Congratulations to Izuku Midoriya, you officially accepted into UA High Class 1A with the highest score in UA history." We now skip to the first day of UA. The halls are clean, polished, buzzing with excitement. Students gather in uniforms that still feel stiff and new, but Izuku, he walks with purpose. People whisper when he passes, "That's him. Did you see what he did during the exam? Lightning, water, a freaking trident. What even is his quirk?" He ignores them. He doesn't need their approval, not anymore. Bakugo stands near the doorway, arms crossed. Their eyes meet, no words, just tension. But under it, recognition. A silent agreement. This isn't middle school no more. They're not kids. It's time to show the world who they are. It's time for Izuku to find out who he truly is. The stare down continues for a while longer, as they both just stand there thinking about the weight of everything unsaid between them since middle school, the alleyway fights, the whispers of gods and storms. Bakugo just stares, but then scoffs and walks in. Deku breathes out slowly and follows in with his shoulders tense. Inside the classroom, students are still getting settled. Ida approaches Izuku standing upright with mechanical precision and then says,
"Midoriya, wasn't it? I saw your performance during the entrance exam. That technique with the trident. It was astonishing."
Caught off guard by the sudden compliment, due to people normally being terrified of his power, not impressed by it, Izuku awkwardly but politely then says,
Thank you. It was kind of instinct."
Ida pauses for a moment and thinks about what Deku just said, and then immediately begins nodding like a madman. He then replies, full of excitement,
"Instinct or not, it was remarkable composure under pressure. I look forward to seeing what else you can do."
Izuku offers a faint smile and then says to himself softly,
"Me too."
Suddenly, the classroom door slams open. A man walks in dragging a bright yellow sleeping bag, tired eyes, unshaven face, and a scarf that seems to move on its own. Without a word, he flops down and zips himself inside. The classroom goes silent, and then a muffled noise comes from the sleeping bag.
Took you all long enough?
The strange man then unzips the bag and sits up and introduces himself as Aizawa, their teacher. He then very bluntly says,
Get changed into your PE gear. You've got 10 minutes.
Confused murmurs begin to circulate around the class until Uraka finally manages to build up the courage to stand up and say,
Wait, don't we have, orientation or something?
Following Uraraka's lead, Ida then raises his hand and says,
Excuse me, sir. Shouldn't we be welcomed formally by the principal before any physical activity?
Aizawa's eyes glow red as he lets out an exhausted growl saying,
You think villains give formal welcomes?
After Aizawa says this, the entire class falls silent, thinking about what he said. And during this silence, they manage to walk over to the training field. The students gather on the dusty field in full UA training kits. Bakugo rolls his shoulder, cracking his knuckles. Deku adjusts his gloves, trying to steady his breathing. Aizawa stands in front of them with a softball in his hand. Aizawa then calls out to Bakugo and says,
Bakugo, what's the furthest you've thrown one of these?
A massive grin crawls across Bakugo's face as he says,
67 meters.
However, although Bakugo said this with the intention to impress Aizawa, Aizawa's face didn't change, and then with just his usual depressed voice, he just said,
Use your quirk.
Bakugo begins to grin as he steps forwards, knowing that this is his chance to finally step out of Deku's shadow and show people that he is something special too. So Bakugo winds up his arms, bringing as much sweat to his palms as he can, and then ignites it, and an explosion ensues. Bang! The ball vanishes into the sky, the meteor beeps, 705.2 meters. A few students whistle, while Uraka, being impressed, then says,
Okay, that's kinda cool.
Hearing this, from the first time since he met them, an emotion finally showed on Aizawa's face, as an evil grin crawled across it, and in a twisted sort of giggle, he says to the entire class,
Cool? Fun? Whoever comes last gets expelled.
That gets everyone's attention as they all immediately shut up. And it's now Izuku's turn. The ball's placed in his hand. Soft, leather, the perfect weight. He stares down at it for a moment in silence. The wind calms, even the sky feels like it's holding its breath. A few students lean forward in anticipation. Bakugo lets out a grumble.
Let's see what Fate Godboy can really do.
Izuku steps forward slowly. Eyes glowing faintly, water begins swirling around his wrist. Sparks flicker behind his shoulders like fireflies. The trident doesn't appear, but his presence is there. Aizawa narrows his eyes, staring at him. He's seen plenty of strange quirks before. Elemental ones, transformation types, energy manipulation, summoning. He's erased them all. Deku's quirk shouldn't be any different. He activates erasure. The glow in his eyes surges, looking directly into Midoriya. But the moment he tries to erase Deku's quirk, something pushes back. No, erupts back. It's not visible to anyone else but to Aizawa. Time slows. He sees behind Deku's eyes, not a quirk, not an ability, but something ancient, something vast, a force wrapped in flesh. And in that instant, it sees him too, and it does not appreciate being seen. A wave of pressure slams into Aizawa's vision, a blinding light, deep and gold, laced with burning arcs of divine blue. It hits his retinas like a god staring back through a keyhole. His quirk collapses, his body seizes, and his eyes burn. Aizawa stumbles backwards, blood spills from both of his eyes, as he gasps for air and yells.
What are you?
Aizawa drops to the floor, clutching his face. The light's gone, but the image remains, etched into him. A storm behind the mortal shell, something that doesn't belong in this world. Deku drops the ball, startled by what just happened, and sprints towards Aizawa, yelling,
Mr. Aizawa!
Izuku rushes over as the whole class stands frozen. Even Bakugo doesn't speak. Aizawa falls to his knees, trembling, hands shaking, like he's trying to unsee something. And then, a golden flash. A gust of wind blasts through the field. All Might appears, cape fluttering, stance strong, and he yells,
That's enough! I'll take him to Recovery Girl. Stay calm, everyone.
But before All Might could even pick up Aizawa to take him to Recovery Girl, Izuku kneels beside Aizawa. His hands glow softly, not with lightning, not with fire, but with a gentle warmth. He places one hand on Aizawa's head. A pulse of golden blue light spreads across the injury. Aizawa shudders and then stills. The blood stops. His eyes close and his breathing evens out. He's healed, but not unchanged. The trauma still remains. Moments later, Aizawa sits upright, now seated near the observation steps. All Might stands behind him, arms crossed. The students are inside and watching from a distance as All Might and Aizawa walked away. Aizawa then quietly, in a rough voice, says,
When I used my quirk on Midoriya,
He pauses. His hand trembles for just a second, thinking about what he saw.
I didn't just lose control. I saw something. A presence, a higher power. It wasn't a quirk. It was a warning.
He looks over towards his class in the distance, and then stares at Izuku, thinking about what he just saw even more. Picturing it, reimagining it, he just can't believe what he's seen.
I saw something no human should see. It didn't just burn my eyes, it burned a lesson into me for daring to peek into something sacred without permission.
He stands up slowly, his legs shaking. His entire body is worn out.
I may be healed, but mentally I'm drained. All Might, take over.
All Might just nods quietly. Class 1A stays silent. For the first time since they arrived, they are not excited, they are not eager, they are afraid. Not afraid of being expelled, not afraid of failing. They are afraid of Izuku Midoriya. The dust settles after Aizawa's retreating and healing. All Might stands at the base, ready, nodding to Izuku.
Midoriya! Show us what you're truly capable of!
Izuku steps forward with the ball in his hand, but something's different than before. He closes his eyes. For the first time, he stops trying to keep his powers separate and starts combining them. Water surges through his bloodstream, cool and fast, accelerating his circulation. His heart beats louder and stronger. Lightning crackles into his veins, not wild but focused, threading into every vessel, supercharging his nervous system. Flames crawl down to his core, then wraps around his bones, fusing his skeleton like molten armour. His muscles don't just swell, they evolve. His blood doesn't just move, it flows like a divine current, leading to a conduit. Thunder rumbles above the clouds. Zeus steps to the edge of the great terrace, his eyes widen, not in fear, but wonder.
After all these centuries of fighting alone, could it be, when we stand together, our powers don't just align, they amplify?
We now go back to the training field. Izuku opens his eyes. One glows with molten gold, the other appears in ocean blue. His hair is standing upright, humming with raw energy. Lightning cracks in a halo around him. Water floats in beads across his skin. Flames shimmer within his chest like a furnace of purpose. He stares at the ball in his hand and quietly says,
I feel alive.
He goes quiet for a moment and then lets out a loud roar.
I won't hold back anymore.
Izuku then hurls the ball. The ground erupts beneath him. A crater explodes from his launch. The sky splits. A streak of light surges upwards faster than any machine or any jet, any sound. The measuring device doesn't even register it. The screen just glitches infinity and then short circuits and dies. High above into the sky, the ball is caught by Zeus. He holds it gently, almost with amusement, and then says,
Nothing like a father and son playing catch.
Izuku's entire body stiffens. His eyes dart upwards. He senses something. A terror in the sky. A flicker of blue and gold. Then, boom! The ball returns like a meteor. Izuku pivots, extends his hand, and catches it. Sparks crackle between his fingers. The lightning from Zeus recognizes the lightning within him. They harmonize. They pulse. A beat and a bond. He turns to the class. Some students step back, fear in their eyes. Izuku walks towards them, calm, drenched in energy, but soft in the voice.
I know some of you are scared, and I get it. Power like this can feel like a threat. But I'm not here to be feared. I'm here to protect, to fight beside you, not above you.
And although they don't know it, his words aren't just words. One of the blessings buried deep within him, a gift from a silver-tongued deity, lets his truth resonate. When Izuku speaks from the heart, others feel it. His conviction wraps around their fear like a warm wave, washing away the doubt. The field was silent, but not from fear, from awe. All Might watch, stunned, mouth slightly open, eyes wide, and thinking to himself.
So, this is the boy the hospital warned us about.
No!
This is beyond warning! This is potential! True power! It's not just that he could be my successor. I think he was born to be!
All Might's fist tightened. Even him, the symbol of peace, felt the pressure roll off Izuku like thunderclouds on the verge of a storm. And then, Bakugo walks up to Deku. Voice steady, not angry. He was determined.
You win. Fine. Maybe I'm never gonna be stronger than you. But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna become the strongest I can be. Stronger than anyone else. Except you, damn nerd.
Izuku hearing this smiled softly.
Thanks, Scotch-on.
Bakugo didn't say another word. He just turned away, hands in his pockets. But something had changed. Respect. Unspoken but real. The rest of the test wrapped up quickly. No one dared to challenge the order after what they'd seen. A divine storm in human form. The final rankings were announced. First, Izuku Midoriya. Second, Shoto Todoroki. Third, Katsuki Bakugo. 4, Tenya Ida. 5, Momo Yayazoru. It filters through the rest of the class until finally, last place is Minoru Mineta. After announcing the score, Aizawa then says,
Mineta, you came last. Pack your things. You're expelled.
and just like that, the class of 1A began to take shape. We now go back home to Izuku sat cross-legged on his floor, staring at his hands. So much power, yet so much control. But it wasn't about mastering it, no. He realised now he had been trying to contain it, box it in, separate fire from lightning, lightning from water, like they didn't belong. Like lightning didn't conduct in water, like fire didn't empower lightning. The moment he stopped resisting, the moment he let them merge, his body didn't tear apart, it thrived. He then thought to himself,
I was holding them back, afraid they'd consume me. But they're not just powers. They're a part of me.
He closed his eyes and breathed deeply. Water rushed through his veins, accelerating his blood flow. Electricity danced through his nerves and muscles. Flames curled around his bones, fusing with the lightning, strengthening every single part of him. And then, a vision. Darkness. A throne of obsidian, carved from shadow. Eyes burning black with flame, stared down at him. But it wasn't threatening, it was familiar. Then, a voice from the darkness called out to him and said,
So you've finally stopped fighting what you are. Good. That was always your problem, child. You resisted. But you were never meant to suppress your gifts. You were meant to unleash them.
Izuku couldn't speak. He could barely breathe, but in that silence, the man nodded.
One day, you'll know who I am. And when that day comes, we'll talk again.
The mysterious figure then stepped into the black flames and vanished. Izuku's eyes burst open, both engulfed in black fire, but the flames didn't burn. They warmed him. They felt like home. And in that moment, he wasn't just some kid with divine blood. He was the storm. He was the fire. He was the flood. He was the heir to Olympus. Anyway, guys, that's where we're going to leave this episode. That was part 4 of What If Deku Was a Demigod. Comment down below what you guys did enjoy. Like, if you enjoyed the way the AI is going, I'm quite liking it. Although, it's taking ages to do it. This video is going to be out like 2 days ago. It's just taking ages. As my girlfriend can attest, how long is it taking?
Ages.
But yeah, anyway guys, I hope you did enjoy. Comment down below what else you want to see. Go down to the description, check out the thumbnail guy, check out the intro guy. And other than that, yeah, just make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you engage down below. I don't know what you guys want to see if you don't tell me. But other than that, guys, please enjoy the rest of your day or evening. And in a bit, love.